Y'all look at this video and then I'm gonna tell y'all what it looked like to me.
Protests gone wrong.
So it looked to me like she a Trump supporter. And everybody around her was sick of her. And that man said, get your shit! Get your shit! And get out! But he said that with a slap. I don't promote violence, but lady, this the wrong climate for you to be doing all that. There's too many angry people. Go sit your ass down. People losing too much for y'all to be going up there playing these games. And I'm sure that at them protests, there was a lot more violence. But they not going to show that on the news. They ain't going to show that. But I know it happened. And I'm waiting and watching for more of these videos to roll out.
And that is how we are starting our reaction today, ladies and gentlemen, to the, hands up protest. We want to see how it went and what this is very important. This is very important, ladies and gentlemen, because we want to know what white people got to say. Guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Natskona Esther. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section about white people reactions. I am so sorry. I just remembered that slap. Oh, God.
Hey there, can you tell us what your sign means?
Yeah, my sign means stop the cacarosity.
And what exactly is that?
It's when the government's not supposed to,
And tell me about the rights that have been taken away so far.
all the legislation that's been put forth.
And what's your definition of fascism?
It's a form of government that, it has to do with somebody thinking they're king, and then everybody follows. Yeah. I didn't really make, he knows, he made the sign, ask him.
What legislation are you referring to?
Well, in some of the courts. Well, it's also the banning of books in libraries about our community. It starts with the children.
This is how our local news reported the protest. They took this at least 2 hours before the event started because I was there 2 hours early and it was already more crowded than this. They ran this with a headline that 1,200 people attended. And the photo they run has everybody sitting down. Do you want to see what it really looked like? I've been to protests before at the Capitol this year, and there were easily 20, 30 times as many people here. There were more people there by 9 a.m. for an 11:30 protest than there were at the entire last protest. I cannot convey the scope of how far the people went back. You would literally need a drone to be able to clock it. Thankfully, there was a drone there. I hope we get to see the footage. Anyway, here's a little vid of my mutual aid group, and you might see a face or two that you recognize.
Hi, say hi. Yeah. I feel like I'm really close.
I went to my local hands-off protest, and I just want to talk about some of the things that I saw. More old white people than I've ever seen at a protest in my life. A ton of it's not left versus right, it's right versus wrong signs. The call-in responses were changing every 15 to 20 seconds, so we really could not get anything going. A ton of veterans against Trump signs, a bunch of kids, a bunch of people brought umbrellas because it was sprinkling, and that made it like incredibly difficult for us to stay together, and we kept getting like hit with umbrellas. The march stopped at every single red light, and they like yelled at us to stay off the road and on the sidewalks. And then at the end of the march, a Free Palestine chant broke out, and the organizers like freaked out and did not want us doing that. And they were like, oh, this isn't what this march is about. But then they held an open mic where they let people get up and say like, Trump supporters aren't evil. They all want the same thing we want. In between people talking about like how scared they are.
All right, time for a little sign recap from today's incredible nationwide protests about the fascists running our government. Okay, let's start off with the asshole face. Truly great Photoshop work. Trump is a little B, no notes. But it was the Gulf of Mexico at birth. That's a good one. So fucked up that even introverts are here. And I mean, look at this guy. This is the biggest introvert I've ever seen. Grab him by the testicles, love the wordplay there. Make America broke again, dressed up as a Trump clown, love that. Maybe my personal favorite, Wisconsin hates Elon so much it could be one of his kids because his kids hate him because he sucks. Shout out to the FAFO movement. It was the fuck aroundest of times, it was the find outest of times. Natasha Rothwell from White Lotus tweets every single day that she hates Donald Trump and that he's trash, so tying this in with his portrait that he also hates, chef's kiss. I could shit a better president once again, no notes. Another great one here, the penguins of the McDonald Islands? Islands? Whatever it is, they're getting tariffed. Great sign, no notes. Fantastic. Also, very well done with the art. I would have changed the tone on the orange a little bit. It's a little too red for Mr. Orange Man, but good sign. And last but not least, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, sexist, not my POTUS, which is an absolute mouthful, but is incredibly clever and well done. Also, at least eggs are cheap. Oh wait, also very well done as well.
April 5th, there were thousands of protests all over the United States. And I saw videos of them all over the internet all day yesterday and today. They were anywhere from a few hundred to tens of thousands of people at these protests. You know who didn't show up? Were people from the black and brown community. You know who else didn't show up? Cops. I didn't see any cops in any of these videos. That is living proof that institutionalized racism is strong and powerful in the United States of America. The system was written for white people. April 5th, with all the protests, is all the proof and evidence any of these deniers need to see. The only time cops will show up to events are if people from the black and brown community show up.
So I just got back from the Hands Off protest here in San Antonio. And before I post all the footage that I took, I want to talk about like my initial thoughts. And first off, shout out to these people. Like the penguin made me giggle. First of all, it was so amazing seeing the amount of people that turned out. My voice feels hoarse from chanting. But what broke my heart was the amount of people who were over the age of 60. I would say they were the biggest demographic, like probably well over half. And you know what I didn't see was a lot of people under the age of 30. It felt disheartening seeing those people there because they already fought and they got all of these rights, and then it's been dismantled again and they're having to fight again. I'm like, how long are we going to have to fight? But I am appreciative that they were there and they're still worried about future generations and still wanting to speak out for us. So in San Antonio, there's the Final Four happening this week. So the downtown area was packed with people for March Madness. And I couldn't help but watch so many of their faces as they watched us march past. But so many people's faces were just like confusion or like shock. And then, of course, we had, like, the people hating on us. Like, one guy yelled at us, like, how much are they paying you to be here?